Let's continue our work with our very last set of notes. And we're on number 4 now. Sometimes instead of seeing the word problem, you might just have a table like this, and you'll have a missing variable that you'll have to solve. So we can go ahead and just plug in our formula. We know it's interest equals, and they actually represent principal with a capital P, lowercase r, lowercase t, and I didn't talk to you about that in the last lesson. And we can go ahead and solve for t now. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug everything in. We have 2,178 equals the principal of 12,100. So we earned 2,000 some dollars. Our original principal amount, whether it was an investment or a loan, was 12,100 at a rate of, I'm going to put in parentheses, 2.25%, but we know we don't do work with percents. So divide by 100, that's what percent means, per 100. And we have 0.0225 as a percent. And then our time is just going to be the variable t. And make sure you curve the bottom there so it doesn't look like a addition symbol. All right, let's go ahead and isolate the variable. We can solve the numbers next to the t there first. So 12,100 times 0.0225 equals $272.25 times t equals 2,178. Let's go ahead and isolate the variable by dividing this amount on both sides. And we get a final amount of years, because remember, time is in years for this, 2,178 divided by 272.25. There we go. Who would have thought that all turned into one nice little 8? And we know that this is in years, so I'm going to put a YRS under it. Okay, so T equals 8 YRS for 8 years. And so that means in 8 years, with a 2.25% rate, we earned $2,178 on our original either loan or deposit into the bank investment. All right, so the next one, sometimes we're going to compare loans. And so you solve the information for both and then make your best decision. So I'm going to go ahead first thing and, well, we'll just cross it out. This is all just extra typo stuff that shouldn't have been there. So I'm just going to scribble that out. One thing that you need to notice is there's information everywhere with this, so we really have to focus. We're borrowing $20,000, and so this is our principal, the amount that we're borrowing. Then let's see, we have a 4-year loan. This is our time with 6% simple interest rate. It doesn't say rate, but you need to understand that when we're talking percent, that is the rate. Okay. So let's go ahead and start filling this information out for the NACU bank and compare it to the Stahl bank. And let's see what we got here. We don't know what the interest earned is, so that's going to stay our variable. Our original amount is the $20,000 at a 6% rate, but we know that we don't do math work in percents, so change it to a decimal. We have 0.06, and this is for a 4-year period. Okay, set up your equation. I equals capital P R T and fill out what we know. And this is nice when we don't know the interest because everything is already isolated onto one side. So we're just filling everything out and typing it into a calculator. So we have $20,000 times 0.06 times 4 years, and we get $4,800. Okay, and this is our amount of interest that we earn, which is really good for a 4-year loan. That's great. Now let's go ahead and see if we invested our money into the Stahl bank, how that would work. So analyzing this graph here, this is the the y-axis is the interest in dollars, okay? And so if this is the interest in dollars, that means that's our I. And so let's go ahead and look at our ordered pair here. This isn't a 5,000 messed up number. This is our x coordinate point and our y point for this ordered pair. And so we actually already know that the y amount, this is actually the money of interest in dollars, is $1,100. Okay, and so our interest amount that we would get from the stall bank, we would earn $1,100 from the stall bank. We actually don't really need to do much else because we already know that we're depositing the same amount. We don't know what the rate is at the stall bank or the time really, but all I know is at the Nuku Bank, I'm going to earn $4,800. And at the stall bank, I'm only earning $1,100. So I don't really care too much about the situation because when we're comparing loans, what I want you to understand is the better bank is going to equal the lowest rate, okay, or R, and the lowest interest. Okay. If though we're earning money, we obviously want to get the highest interest. So let's relook at these two bank situations. We're borrowing money. If we're borrowing money, are we earning that extra amount or owing that extra amount? Okay. And so that's the thing that we have to pay attention to, which I'm glad that I accidentally wrote that. So you can see how careful you have to be when doing these things. Okay. So we're borrowing money and taking a loan, which means that we're going to have to pay an extra $4,800 in interest. And I'm going to have to pay $1,100 in interest with the stall bank. So now that you understand that, which one is the better bank? We don't even know about the interest rates, but we can just look at the interest we're going to have to pay. I do not want to pay an extra $4,800. And so we end up with the stall bank being the better choice for the loan for this one. Okay. Let's go ahead and compare investing now. Now we're looking at which one we actually get the most interest earned or simple interest at the end. So let's look at our information here. You want to put $3,000 into the savings account. So this is my principal, that original amount I'm putting in. We have our interest rate, which I'm going to represent as 5.5%. There's my years or my time. Okay. And my rate, like we said. And let's go ahead and fill out our information here. Okay. So I don't know how much interest I'm going to get. So this is my variable still. My principal, the original amount that I put in, is $3,000. My rate is 3 months, but we know that I can't represent that in months. I have to use years. So we're going to use 3/12, and 3 divided by 12 is 0.25. So this is 0.25 years. Okay. If you put 3 in there, the formula is going to behave like it's 3 years, and so it would be incorrect. So we have 0.25 years, and I always write the unit just to make sure I remind myself that I'm doing that right. The rate is 5.5%. We don't work in percents, remember, so divide by 100, and we have 0.055. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do that math work. And let's see what our interest earned is. Okay, so we have simple interest equals principal times rate times time. I don't know I, which again makes this nice for solving. We have 3,000 times the rate of 0.055 for 0.25 years. Let's go ahead and fill this out. 3,000, or calculate it, times 0.055 times 0.25, and we get an interest earned of, that's money, $41.25 earned. Okay, so that's that one. Let's go ahead and do the Jan Bank. So we have 6.5% for 9 months. This is 9 out of 12. So let's figure out what that is. 9 divided by 12 is 0.75 years. This is our time. Here's our interest rate. And we already know the $3,000 from before. Okay, so we don't know what we're earning for interest. We do know what our original principal amount was. We know our rate is 6.5%, swoop, swoop, 0.065 as a decimal, and then our time is 0.75, and I'm going to put my unit there. Okay, let's go ahead and solve the same thing with our formula. Interest equals PRT. The interest is $3,000. Ooh, slow down. The interest is the variable I. The principal, original amount we invested, is $3,000 times the rate of 0.065 or 6.5%, times the time of 0.75 years or 9 months. Let's go ahead and solve that. So for the Jan Bank, we have $3,000 times 0.065 times 0.75, and we get an interest earned of $146.25. So let's go ahead and compare the two now. Okay. So if I go with the Armstrong Bank, I earned $41.25 over the period of my savings and investment. If I go with the Jan Bank, I end up earning $146.25 for the same investment of $3,000. And so with the same amount of investment, even though it is for a little bit more time, we end up getting quite a bit more money. And so I'm definitely going to go with the Jan Bank. One thing I do want us to think about and be aware of is this is over a 9-month time. This is over a 3-month time. Even if you look at the unit rate of that, $41.25 divided by 3 months, we're talking $13.75 a month for this one. And for the Jan Bank, $146.25 divided by 9 to get a unit rate. We're talking about $16.25 per month earned for the Jan Bank as well, okay, or in comparison. And so we end up earning more in the Jan Bank. We're earning more per month anyway. Everything points to the Jan Bank being the best for investing for us this time.